flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go.
Good morning, everybody, or good day, maybe. It's kind of midday. Let's take a drink here. Actually, we could remove this guy before we start mowing, or then we'll leave it. Because now I really think stuff doesn't really need any more irrigation this year. It's gonna be so late now that could probably remove the irrigation stuff. At least we'll need to remove it from the lawn. When did I drop my other glove? Somewhere here. But yeah, today we're gonna mow, at least the lawn will get mowed the last time this fall. And then we can put the tracker on in the phone, then we can see actually how long I need to walk to mow pretty much the whole lawn. There might be the other side there that we don't really need to mow, but then we'll get a rough estimate. It usually takes between an hour and a half of mowing, so yeah, my guess would be it's like maybe 3 kilometers. So it's actually not that long that you need to walk, but we'll measure it today. But yeah, this irrigation stuff, at least, well, we could maybe, if we mow it in 2 parts, that we're probably gonna do, then we could just move the hose about a little bit and still leave it outside. In case this really weird weather continues and we need to irrigate still. We're just gonna remove this part so we can mow here. My brother is mowing, he's mowing the field here. There's some thistles that have grown up. He's running the good old 35 with the sickle bar mower. It's just maybe half a hectare or something, so he's just running the good old machine. Just the hill here and the hill there where it was, you can see here it's like thistles coming up. He's just mowing that. Easy with the old tractor, because that tractor, it pretty much has the mower, sickle bar mower is on that tractor like all the time. That's pretty much the only thing we do with it. But yeah, I guess before we go any further, I'm gonna start the tracker, because we're gonna take the mower out and start mowing. I'm definitely gonna forget it otherwise. Start. Yes. Activity type. There is probably not mowing, but we'll put walking. And then nothing else like that. Continue. Get this going first here. Maybe. Wow. Okay, how do I do okay here? Yes. Can get this tracking software to work. Could sometimes be a struggle. Waiting for GPS. It should have a GPS. Oh, come on. This thing usually works. I don't know what's going on now. Okay, I think it's good now. See if we walk around a little bit. Don't know how accurate this is, but it should be, I guess, accurate enough. Still says distance 0 there. So, haven't used the app in a while, so of course there's going to be struggles again to get it right. I don't know why it has problems getting GPS. Should be able to use GPS at the same time as we use like 4G, right? Allow the permissions. I don't know why it's just waiting for GPS. It says no meters in, so that's not good. Send that, let's try again. I haven't used it in a while, but last time I used it worked, but now it's of course not working. Surprise, surprise. First time using something after a while and it's usually a struggle. Who could have guessed? Waiting for GPS. What the effing F? I allowed the permission for it to get GPS. Why is it? The software. We don't have Suunto app. Should be able to just use a phone. Beeping like crazy and saying that it's see there. Start time, so let's try to walk a little bit. Yes. If we don't get this to work, then we will not know how many kilometers we'll walk today. Time is running on the exercise, but it's saying we're waiting for GPS still. It has never done. I've used this app for like many years. It's never done this before. Granted, I haven't used it in a while now, like half a year probably since skiing. So, of course, something has changed now, and it's not working. Steps. It actually counts steps here also. Let's see how accurate that is. But the average speed and distance is 0. But I guess if it counts steps, let's see how. Now it says 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Now it should be 45. Let's hope that's accurate enough. It's counting the steps. It's for some reason not getting GPS, and it's not counting the distance. But I guess we got the steps, so we'll say that that's accurate enough. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but I guess we'll use that. I don't have a smartwatch. Just using app on the phone. That's why a phone is good. You don't need like 10 different things. A cell phone is, I haven't like used a watch, like even a normal watch. I don't have a normal watch even. Like after I got the phone, like, always have the time, so you don't need a phone. Or you don't need a clock. That's a big reason why a phone is good. Like it's many things in one. Yeah, but of course, you might get some issues too, but I don't want to buy like 573 different things to. As long as there is like a free app on the phone, then I prefer to use that than buy a smartwatch and buy this and buy that and too much buying. That might have been the last fuel we need for this season's mowing. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last time we mow the lawn. Then we'll move on to this guy a little bit more. Chainsaw time. Yeah, so this part we don't need to mow. I think that's so short, but the rest we can probably go over, clean it up. Let's see how many steps we've done now. If this is, oh yeah, 100 steps. So we'll say it's accurate. We get the time and we get the steps, but we get the calories, but we don't get the distance. Oh well. I guess steps. I think I put the title like how many steps it is. So I guess I would have. The first plan was to just see how many kilometers it is and then divide it or multiply by 2, because I guess an average step would be like half a meter. But we'll use the actual steps. As I counted there, it's not going to be super accurate, but it's going to give the ballpark, I guess. But yeah, that camera position probably good. Only use to monitor sleep. Yeah, I think if I would try to monitor my sleep, I think my sleep would get worse if I monitor it. If that makes sense. I think I sleep better as the less things I need to think about the less things that are running, the better I sleep. But yeah, of course, when you properly fall asleep, then it shouldn't be really any difference. But yeah, let's fire it up, mow this. Then we'll mow, probably go into sunny places. There's still some dew in the grass, so we can do that last. Maybe go up there first. It's gonna be when the phone is like shaking with the handlebars. I don't know how accurate it's gonna count the steps. We'll see what it says. Pretty much cleaning it up. It's not, I think some places might have long grass, but it's not super tall in any place. The other area first. As we can see here, the grass is still got a little bit of dew. Take some breaks in between because some clouds coming, but still warm. It's not hot anymore now, but very warm weather still. and chopping up leaves. Yeah, yesterday it actually rained maybe 1 millimeter. Tomorrow I guess it's actually supposed to rain. So it might be a good day today to pretty much mow the last of it. Leaves too. In some spots we do that more than actually mow lawn. at least. Nice chill wind. Yeah, if we mow to here, we're gonna mow this before, otherwise we can't move the. We're gonna be able to move the hose and try to not mow it. Hello there, Serenity. Thank you for the 100 bits. Just mow a little bit here, then we can take a break. Brothers mowing the teasels with the with the good old tractor. First break here. Yeah, I think when I was streaming the Twitch and Kick, it would be nice, I think, to have the like somewhere so no matter which platform you're watching on, you could read both chats. But I think technically, I think you're not like allowed to show, like if I'm streaming on Twitch, I'm not allowed to show the Kick chat in the Twitch, like if you're watching from Twitch, I think. But I don't know how strictly they enforce it. But I could maybe, I don't know if there's an app that could, so I could overlay the chat from both Kick and Twitch on the stream. Then yeah, like technically you're allowed to stream to both at the same time, but showing chat is not allowed. It's confusing. Yeah, he just mowed this part here. There were some thistles and maybe the other hill there. With the good old 35. Some museum power right here. works well for just some thistles. It's not super thick grass, so even though sickle bar mower does a pretty good job. Beep beep. Beep beep. I'm gonna check see the app what it says now. We've taken, according to this, we've taken now 1,800 steps. I'm not sure if that's right. That would be 1 kilometer. I think it's gonna show too much maybe. It's too bad that the app didn't, like, it doesn't, if it would count the distance, I think it would be closer to the truth. But for some reason the app didn't want to. It doesn't want to count the, the distance, which is it again, first, it has never happened before. It's like sports tracker app, used it before for distance, speed, for some reason today. Okay, I don't want to work, but I'm gonna show you the steps though. And calories. Oh man. Classic app stuff. It's probably something with the like allow GPS or something, but I put it on, it should be okay. Did it log out now? What the hell? Did I accidentally log out? That shouldn't be right. No, there we go. But yeah, it's still saying waiting for GPS, so it's probably like it for some reason can't use GPS right now. But duration is right and it counts steps, but I'm not too confident because when I hold the lawnmower it's like this, it counts from this. So it's gotta be probably not the best. Like if we do this, does it add any steps? No, it didn't add there. Huh. Well, we'll have it on. We'll see what it does. Better than nothing, I guess. Oh fuck! He mowed the goddamn trees. Now he's gonna have to plant some new ones there. That's not good. He mowed some of the... There's like a hedgerow there. Just maybe 2 trees. We'll have to replant those next spring. We'll get some new spruces for the forest next spring, so then we'll have to replant those 2. He went a little too far there when he turned. It's okay, it's just a hedgerow. Just a hedgerow. NPC tractor though. Yeah, he did the same as I watch sometimes when you play Farming Simulator, you can like hire a driver there. And that driver also does some weird things sometimes. So that's exactly what happened there. NPC tractor driver. Had some issues with the turning there. Went slightly wide in the corner. yeah, I think we're taking a break. At least there's some clouds now. It's not super hot, but we're still gonna take plenty of breaks today. We could actually, there's some needles that came down. It was pretty windy. Was it yesterday? No, the day before that was really windy. So some needles came down from the trees here. Clean this up a bit. Pine needles. So even evergreen trees, they do drop some needles, but not all of them. Gonna be able to brush it all the way here. Needles pushed out. Now it's better. Specially made brush to put up here, so we can use it here when needed. Couple of fatalities. Man måste plantera nya sen nästa vår när man får nya. Sätt några, för nu de där blir klippt så lågt att det kan nog komma själv på nytt, men det kan hända få så mycket bort att de mer kommer. Om det skulle bli lite så gröna kvistar kvar så kan det komma till själv. But yeah, the spruce trees, I think he got them right at the ground, but if you leave even a little bit of green, even now they could recover from that. Yep, I think the post has arrived. Thursday. See if the mower fires up. This place probably has the most. There's like some flowers there, and down there it's actually some grass. Here it's like kind of, yeah, it's the last time that we're gonna mow the lawn this year. It's kind of trimming it off. Some places, technically I could leave some places. On the other side of the road, I think we're just gonna mow that low part and leave the rest because it's pretty much not grown at all. So here we can, I think this will look better after some mowing. It's kind of just trimming it. It's really not, in many spots you could leave it for sure, but yeah, let's clean it up one more time this year. To mow it too much this year. It was so dry the whole year that we pretty much, maybe I mowed like 4 times, 5 times. That's not that much. So I guess something good with the dry weather. Didn't need to mow that much. I guess we can consider that a small win. where we irrigated, you can see how the grass is much thicker here. Where some irrigation has happened. Tomatoes still looking kind of green. Some are turning a little bit now. We'll see if they have enough time to actually be ready. I guess you could kind of eat some green tomatoes, but they're not going to be that good. Would be better if they would turn red. And yeah, corn pretty much harvested. There's maybe 2 more cobs left. 2 or 3. Then we can cut the corn down. Beans, there is some left, but they're kind of winding down too, so not much growing anymore in the garden. Season is almost over. Here we will get another of these. It came there by itself, but yeah, it's big enough now where we can let it grow here. Here. Definitely some places more than others. That side we're definitely gonna leave. There's nothing there. Nothing to mow really. there, that part we could mow. It's just a narrow little bit. Right now before we forget it. There, but the rest of that side here, that's fine. There's like 3 flowers to cut there, so we're just gonna leave it. On the other side, there's definitely gonna look better if we mow it. maybe on Monday when we walked Kukuljärvi trail. I think there we got maybe 20,000 steps, 20 to 25,000. That's a decent bit. It's not gonna be that much here for sure. Or if the app says that, then I'm definitely not gonna believe it. Yeah, 9 kilometers, so I think roughly you could say 1 kilometer is like 2,000 steps, roughly, if you're walking. Should probably be pretty close. Some spots we're basically cleaning up a few flowers. Lizard, a small lizard guy, he didn't even get mowed. He's still good. There, little lizard. Thought it was a snake first. the edges a bit. The rest is fine. Here, you can clearly see here when I gave some water to the strawberries, the irrigation thing, it like irrigates a little further down here. You can clearly see what there I got the irrigation. It's there, that's full of clover. And then as soon as it gets drier, it's just like grass. So the clover, it really thrives here if it's like, if it gets enough water. It's kind of the same in the big fields. If it's really rainy, then the clover just thrives really well. This piece, then we'll take a break and then do the rest. good that the wind picked up. It's getting too warm again otherwise. Especially in the sun. Another one of those Kataja trees right there. That also, it's not planted. It came there from, maybe from that one that's over there. Like all natural. Not planted. Strawberries still. What the hell? I think the strawberries are confused with the weather. There's like 2 red strawberries right there. Well, we're gonna eat them when we take like a break. Not run them over now. Confused strawberries. Strawberries don't know if it's fall or spring. Yeah, we'll mow this, then we'll for sure eat those. They look like they are in good shape still. A little snack between the mowing. Yeah, maybe that's maybe that's the strawberries answer. If it's confused, produce berries. I mean, in some ways it makes sense. maybe 5-10 minutes here. Then all this is done. Take a break. Then we'll do the other half basically. Spinning around like crazy. Some unnecessary turnarounds maybe there. There's also one small one that's trying to grow here. One of those Kataja trees. Even two of them. There's one there and one there, I think. Seem to be spreading on their own. Time for strawberries. Time for break, time for strawberries. Just some casual September strawberries. Like right here, there is at least one that's good. Perfectly fine strawberry. Another one. This one is good. The third one looks like, yeah, that one's too old. Couple of strawberries. I must say I've never eaten strawberries in September before, like straight out from the garden. There's one here also. Crazy. Really crazy actually. If you think the main season for strawberries is like usually they pretty much have produced all their strawberries in June, like in June probably. So we're like many months later and there were still like some strawberries. Like there was 3, so not that many, but it's still really weird. September strawberries. Yeah, t-shirts, shorts and strawberries in September. Standard Finnish weather. Pretty standard. Pretty standard for Finland. It's supposed to be a little cooler now a few days, but then next week it's gonna be again sunny all days and slightly over 20 degrees. So yeah, if someone needs a nice holiday in Finland with nice weather, it's good to come now in September. Most of the time it can be really like it can be 15 degrees and raining in September, but not this year. Not this year for sure. It will be very interesting to see which is the last day that we can still get to like 20 degrees. I think it's gonna be end of probably according to the forecast right now it was like maybe 20th of September it's still gonna be 20 degrees. Then it said it's gonna like maybe be between 15 and 20 degrees after that. But yeah, crazy. Okay, let's see how many steps we have taken with a big grain of salt. We gotta use this. Yeah, it says now we have taken 5,700 steps, which step rate is, oh yeah, that's live. Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be like 2 point something kilometers. Yeah, it's tough to say. I guess we could do some calculations if I think the lawn is like it's between 0.1 and 0.2 hectares. I would say so. If we put it in between 0.15 hectares and the mower is like, I think technically 50 centimeters wide, but let's say it's 45. Easier to calculate with half a meter though. So if it's half a meter wide, then how long do you have to walk to cut 0.15 hectares? Should be easy to do a calculation. Maybe I'll need to take the phone here. We'll do some calculations. I guess if it would be 1 meter wide, then it would be 1 meter wide. If you cut 1 meter wide, you would need to go. If you would go 1 kilometer, then you would have 0.1 hectare. 1.5 kilometers would be what we have. And then half that, yeah, it should be like 3 kilometers. If I walk 3 kilometers, I should cut all the lawns. So I would say that would then be like 6,000 steps, but according to the app, we have already taken 5,700 steps, and we have mowed like half of it. So, yeah, I do not believe. Your app doesn't show distance in kilometers. It's a very good question. It should show kilometers, but for some reason today, the app, it shows time, calories, steps, but it does not show distance or speed. When I started it up, it just stays where it like it says waiting for GPS. So I don't know why it can't connect to GPS. It asked some like permissions. I allowed everything, but it seems to not be able to connect to the GPS. So that's why we only have the steps, unfortunately, today. With the distance, it would be much more reliable. So app is kind of malfunctioning, or something is not right there. But yeah, if I calculate it, it should be about 3 kilometers to mow the whole lawn. Maybe then if you have a little overlap, maybe between 3 and 4 kilometers. So not that much, but you're pushing like the mower, which weighs. What does a mower like that weigh? Maybe 15 kilometers, 15 kgs, 15 kilos. It's a good workout. It's a little bit similar to what we did on Monday, maybe slightly lighter all in all. But yeah, still a good workout. Now when it is at least a little bit cooler, it's much nicer. When it was like 25 degrees, it was like, whew, let's mow super early in the morning or super late in the evening, or figure out somehow to have it a little bit cooler. Today it is a little bit cooler. It shouldn't go much over 20 today, so that's good. Mine shows that my 500 steps is about 340 meters. Yeah, it depends. I think for me, I haven't measured it, but my guess would be one step is like half a meter. If you're walking like not super slow but not running, then probably something like it. But yeah, if the app would work more correctly, and I think also when I'm mowing, if you're walking, you have the cell phone in your pocket. I think it detects the thumbs better with each step. Now when I'm mowing, I have the hands like this, and the chat phone is here. Then I think it has troubles detecting like what's a step and what's just the mower, like going up and down. I think that's why the app is getting so confused. I tried it a little bit before I started to mow, and if I had it in my hand and just walked without the mower, and I counted the steps, it was kinda somewhat accurate. But yeah, the distance would be good. I don't know. I've used this app for a long time. I don't know. This is the first time it doesn't show the speed and distance for some reason. I have no idea what happened. Maybe the app updated, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. I haven't used it in a while, but I used it. Last time I used it was probably when we skied right here in the winter to count the distance. But yeah, so roughly I would say if it's 3 kilometers, maybe 6,000 steps, maybe 6,000, 7,000 steps to mow the lawn. I think, what do they recommend? I think, did I read somewhere they recommend that you should take like, was it 10,000 steps per day? 5,000 maybe? So it's a decent bit. For sure on most days I do not take 10,000 steps. yeah, 10,000. That would be, it's like walking 5 kilometers. So it's not, it doesn't sound much, but there was one like I think there was some farmer that tried that. Like he, on a normal day, he was like a dairy cow farmer, and on a normal day, I think he took something like, it was at least 20,000 steps, if not 30,000 steps, just on a normal work day. So that would be almost every day of the whole year. You would be taking like 20,000 steps. But that's, if you work with animals, like you're gonna do a lot of walking, like back and forth in the barn, and it's I don't know exactly what kind of farm it was, but you definitely will have pretty strong legs when you're like, that's pretty much like not every day of the year, but like every day you're working at the farm, you would take like 20,000 steps. So that's, it's almost, I don't know if some pro athlete, they probably do more than that, but it's quite a lot for just a normal job, I guess. I don't know if you're like a male delivery guy, then you could also take quite a bit of steps. If you work like in a neighborhood where you have to go, like you can't be in the car all the time, you have to go inside buildings and go up steps and down steps. I think a mailman would also like get a lot of steps. Like if you're not one like here the mailman drives like a car, so you don't really get that many steps then. But if you're like in a neighborhood or in like a city where you deliver it with like a bike or bike plus walking. But yeah, there's definitely some jobs that you get a lot of steps. Another place I need to get that working, that I want to try, is if I go to the forest and do some like logging. If I do like 6 hours of logging with the chainsaw or with the brush cutter, I really would like to know how many steps I take there. Then it could easily be. Yeah, I don't know how much. It could be a lot. Since you're basically walking the whole day then. So that should accumulate a decent amount of steps. And that's like steps in uneven terrain, so it's like more than if you walk on a flat surface all the time. Just even getting the distance that you walk in the forest when you're logging a day, it's gonna be quite a bit. And again, it's gonna be then with extra weight. Either if you're using the chainsaw, then you're pretty much carrying 6 kilos in your hands the whole day. Or if you're using the brush cutter, then like carrying 10 kilos in the harness. So it's additional weights and heavy terrain or uneven terrain, and then you're moving around all the time. So that's gonna burn some calories for sure. So again, if you're a professional forest worker, I guess it's called these days, then the days you're working, you're definitely burning a lot of calories, since you're pretty much, yeah, depending on how long a day you do. If you do like 8 hours, 10 hours even, then it's gonna be a lot of calories, a lot of steps. Those are that come to mind. There's probably some other work areas where you also, like you would get a lot of steps in. Maybe even if you're a waitress or something, like then you're pretty much walking a whole day too. That could also be maybe a little bit more surprising, but a place where you could get a lot of steps in. Now I'm now when I started to think about it, I'm even more intrigued. I need to look it up. There's maybe some place online where it says like how many steps you take on average in different types of jobs. I think my neighbors, they're still harvesting something. Maybe they have like some canola or something. Since I think everybody else pretty much has everything harvested here now. But yeah, if I want to measure more stuff, then I definitely need to get my app working. Since the distance is going to be more reliable. I think steps could be reliable if you're just walking, but as soon as you're doing something else and walking, then it gets not so accurate. I guess if I would have the phone that calculates that just in the pocket, it would work better now. But when I have it here, like it's going to count this probably as steps. So that's why it gets more steps than I think it should get. But yeah, I mean, today it's like 20 degrees maybe now, so it's pretty good weather. Honestly, this weather, it's not like as soon as you don't do anything super heavy, then it doesn't feel like super hot anymore. So almost gotten used to the 25 to 30 degrees now. So 20 degrees feels pretty good now. Now we're gonna mow the other side of the hose there. But yeah, it feels weird too. And this is probably the last time we mow this year, and it's still warm, sunny. It feels like there would still be like many more mowing times left, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the last one. Pretty sure about it. Even if it grows a little bit after this, it's kind of good to leave the lawns a little longer for the winter, and they survive better. tractor meetup. Yeah, maybe you wash the tractors a little bit here. Got the old tractors out. We'll have to wait that he drives those tractors away before we can mow the last week. Which is fine, there's not, don't really need to mow even underneath this. Big thistles. Get rid of those. Another one. I don't know what kind of thistle that is. It's like a super wide one, but not very tall. Falling down too, so we're gonna mow, or then you're gonna hear some clinking and clonking. under the trees here, there's almost nothing. Tractors are on the move. The mode, that last piece. Probably a pretty heavy spot too here. A lot of grass. flies around even. That's really crazy. Usually there's not many flies this time of the year. There hasn't been any mosquitoes for a while, so at least that's good. Some flies and maybe some deer fly in the forest. But I haven't been to the forest too much yet. We gotta go and maybe pick some lingon berries at some point. I think there's gonna be like just enough to actually take a bucket to the forest. There, then we have a little bit here. A little bit down there. Go around that first and then do that little piece. Maybe do this piece. Tractors have vanished. Now we can mow this part. Tractors have been teleported away. type here. Mulcher. Leaf mulcher. That's good. Then we just have the flat part left. Left the easy part last. somewhere here. You can kind of see lines where we drive, even if it's not really cutting much. I haven't seen many grasshoppers anymore. Maybe the grasshoppers are kind of gone already. And then we are. It's so warm that I'm not going to say that it's 100% that this is the last mowing of this year, but it's a pretty high likelihood that this was the last mowing. That's it, that's all mowed, all this is mowed. The other side there, nothing has grown there, so that's it. Probably. Let's see how many steps it says now. Let's check. $8,761 steps. I do not believe it said like step rate was 40 steps per minute. That would be, it's a little bit on the high side, I think. But it's not too far away. I said, well, we didn't mow that part, so we mowed maybe 0.1 or something. I said it's gonna be like 5. What did I say? 5 to 7,000 for everything maybe. So it's a little bit. It's maybe 20-30% on the high side. But maybe maybe 5,000 to 7,000 steps to mow all the lawns. I will have to get this thing working for next season so we can actually get the distance too. But yeah, my guess for the distance would be 3-4 kilometers maybe. Maybe something like that. But yeah, the Sports Tracker, it's a pretty good app. It's a free app, but of course today it was not the best when it didn't 100% work. Okay, we could clean the lawnmower underneath. I bet there's some grass stuck there. then we're gonna probably mow like just something to get the tank empty before we put the mower away for a winter, but it's not 100% yet, so what we can clean it a little bit underneath. Just some tool to clean it underneath. What have I usually used? Some sort of little, not really a shovel, is not really good. Something that you can use with one arm, since I need to hold up the mower with the other arm. There's like this little scoop that I used, but it is not here. Maybe this will work. Kind of like a small shovel. Let me flip this guy up a little bit. Oh, there's actually not much here. There's a little bit there, but usually it collects here on the sides too, but it's been so dry that it has not really, there's not much here. It's so damn dry. Just everything is so dry that now, so it comes out pretty easy. It's just if you get most of it, it's fine. Don't need to repaint this every year. You can, but I thought there was gonna be more. Sometimes when it's wet and you mow, then there's literally like 5 to 10 kilos of grass underneath here. Now there was maybe half a kilo, if even that. It's pretty much clean. You really don't want to put your arm or hand in there. I mean, I should take the spark plug out if you want to be like 100% safe. Like it can't really start, but I guess if it would, then it's better to have the shovel here like this, not your arm or fingers. If you want to do it by the book, at least. At least now we're safe because we use a tool. If we go in there with the arm or hand, then technically it could be dangerous. But yeah, that's pretty good. Get most of it out. Yeah, compressed air could be also good. I don't know if it's powerful enough to get this off, but a little tool like this is pretty good. Get most of it out. Again, there's like a bearing underneath. You could see where it connects. The blade is connected straight to the engine, I believe. So there's a bearing. You don't really want to. You could use a pressure washer there, but it could also be bad, because if you pressure washer and you like break the seal, get water inside the bearing, then it's actually bad. And it's better not to use a pressure washer. That's why for the combine, we really don't pressure wash the combine. It has like so many bearings everywhere, and it's better to just use compressed air. Otherwise, you might end up with a lot of rusty bearings, and then next season when you fire it up, run it on the dusty fields, then you might have a nice combine fire, and that's not that nice. We have not had it happen, but there's always every year some farmer that burns down a combine. Okay, time for a break. Oh, there's some clouds rolling in. Okay, this is, as long as you're not doing like something super heavy, then this weather it's a lot better than 25 to 30. But yeah, for forest work, before we go into the forest, it has to drop to minimum, it has to drop below 15 degrees. Otherwise it's way too hot, because doing forest work, I don't really want to do that with t-shirt and shorts. You pretty much have to have your protective clothes, which are like a long sleeved jacket and like pants. So with that type of equipment, I would say best temp is maybe +5 to +10 maybe. Or yeah, anywhere -5 to +5 is also pretty good. Even -10 is like better than +20 or +30 like now. It's almost like impossible to do forest work when it's this warm. Plus in the fall or in the winter there's no bugs. No bugs in the forest, so that's also nice. Even now there's not that many bugs anymore. It's less than, probably like August is worst maybe for bugs, maybe end of July, and then it starts to taper off from there. But yeah, we'll see how the weather. Tomorrow it's supposed to be actually a rainy day. I think it's actually gonna rain. Again, between 10 to 20 mils is the forecast, so I'm guessing like 5 is probably a good tip for what it's actually gonna be. But then after that it's supposed to be again really nice. Really nice for outdoor activities. But yeah, we'll have to see. One time we need to go and test the like bike that actually the gears are working. Maybe we could do that even today. Just a little bike ride, just to test the bike out, see that the gears are actually working before we go on any kind of longer trip. Rain plus thunder. Yeah, it said like some thunder. I don't know if that's gonna be right. Maybe at least some rain. enough rain to keep a streamer indoors, I think. But yeah, we can go try to test out the bike now, because I have not, since we fixed it, I have not officially tested it. So we could go do just a little short bike ride, just to try it out, so I know it's working. I need to buy another of these bottles for the bike, because the other one I bought was good, but then after it was in the dishwasher, it was not good anymore. It shrank like to half the size of this one. So apparently it was not dishwasher proof. Hello there, custodies. Yeah, let's go take a little bike ride. Not even gonna take the helmet, we're just gonna test out the bike, see if it's actually working. See if it's actually working. Did some fixing on the gear shifter, so we're gonna go try it out now. It was slightly broken. Now it should be fine. Should be working before we go. I'm still kind of planning for to do at some point when the weather is maybe even slightly cooler than right now, then try to do the 100 kilometers on a bike in one day. I think that would be a good challenge. Good challenge for sure. Just need to plan just where I want to do it. Somewhere where it's like really nice views also. And yeah, plan a route that would be exactly or a little bit over 100 kilometers. Yeah, I think it's possible. Like 100k is pretty much possible for anybody, I would say. Not anybody, but most people. It would probably take like the whole day. Like I don't want to start that day, maybe midday. Otherwise it might be pushing it a little bit. But if I use a full day for it, a full 1 day project, then it could be possible. It would be it would be like a personal record. This spring when we biked from Lappeenranta to Imatra and back, that was, I don't think me or my brother, I don't think we had any kind of tracker on, but that should be about 85 kilometers maybe, since we started a little bit in one city and went through the city and before we came out from the city. So I think that was maybe 85 kilometers. So that's my current record, but I wanna, like it sounds much better if I could say that I've done 100 kilometers in one day. 80 sounds kinda not so nice. I have even on cross-country skis, my record on cross-country skis is actually longer than my bike record. Which is, I would bet for 95% of people they have done a longer trip on their bike than on cross-country skis. But at least currently my record with the skis is longer than the bike. Mushrooms, yeah, there could be mushrooms. The problem is it's so dry. I think it's too dry for mushrooms. We had some rain last month, so after that there was some mushrooms. But now it's again bone dry, so not the best conditions for mushrooms. I bet we could see some mushrooms. We're just gonna use this kind of shortcut to get out to our road. And then we can test the bike. Work our way through the gears and see if everything is working correctly. But yeah, we're just going kind of through a forest here. A little bit. Oh, that's a big dragonfly. Dragonflies are always cool. Look really cool. Like a miniature chopper or helicopter. Where'd it go? Somewhere. Not many deer fly, it seems. Usually when I walk through this area, there's probably like deer here in the winter or something, because there's usually deer fly. I don't see a single one on me yet, so maybe there's not that many deer flies here. Maybe it's been too dry for them too, and they have maybe died off. No horse flies either. Really not that many bugs. See if we can get out to the road here. I put you in the, remember to put you in bike mode so you don't look down on the, just down on the gravel. I put you in this mode. Might seem weird now, but you'll see it's better when we ride the bike. Would say the day is lovely, night gets spooky. It sure gets a little bit spooky during the night. Should I can put my phone. Put the phone in the bike mount. Then we can keep this here. It's kind of weird, we don't need it, but I don't have anywhere else to put it either. Okay, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seems like all the gears are working. Now we have two big gear to ride. Number 3, number 4. Seems like the gears are working. Do you wear something right now like pepper spray? Nah, no weapons with me. Just the arms. If bear comes, we just punch it in the nose. Same as they suggest if a shark attacks you, punch it in the nose. Oh, now they have been here doing the brush cutting. I wonder when they were gonna do this. So you can see underneath the power line here, like every 5 years they come and mow everything down. It's the power line guys that do it. They have to keep the trees down so they don't grow up to the power line. I wonder when they did this. Usually you can hear it when it's like pretty close to the farm. Maybe I wasn't at the farm when they did this. But yeah, now they have mowed the trees down. Seriously, for sharks at least, that's seriously what they suggest, I think. I mean, if you punch it in the right spot in the nose or maybe close to the eyes, I mean, it could have some effect. So it's not like 100% a joke. But then it's another thing that who actually is able to do that when a bear is attacking you. Like just to be able to stay calm and do that when a bear attacks, like that would be, I'm pretty sure I could maybe not do that. Even if you know it would be the right thing to do, it would be kind of hard to do because, yeah, you're not that calm when a bear attacks you, I think. Yeah, a kick between the nuts or kick between the legs might be better. That might work better. But yeah, it seems like the gears are working. Them. Yep, we went through them a few times. Seems like everything is working. So we could take actually a break here. We could take a little look in the forest here. I haven't been here checking this area out too much. Lower you guys down again. Take a look at this forest. This forest here is one part of the farm. Oh, let's drink the rest of the water. It's still in the sun. As soon as it's not windy, it's pretty warm today still. It's not as bad as it was a little bit ago, but I think you guys got many snakes. Now we have what is there, maybe 3 species of snakes, 3 or 4. And of them, 1 is somewhat poisonous. So, yeah, I'm not really, if you see a snake when you come close to it, you still you're a little bit scared, but I don't know if there's probably not many fatalities from snakes in Finland, I think. First, we can take a look. I'm just gonna drink this, then we can go take a little loop here in the forest. Yeah, we might have similar snakes to what you got. It's probably, we're still relatively close, so it might be a little bit similar types of snakes. Adder might be poisonous. Yeah, I don't know what the one is called. It's like ky in Finnish or huggorm in Swedish, but I don't know what's in English. It might be adder or maybe it's something else in English. I'm not sure. But yeah, talking of snakes, when we ride the bikes, I've seen several snakes on the roads. Like you see these small snakes always chilling on the road. Yeah, let's put you guys back in this guy. Then we can take a walk, a little walk in the forest. See, there could be lingonberries here somewhere. Today, no, not today. But last time when we did like a longer bike trip, maybe it was a week ago, then I saw at least 2, maybe 3 like small snakes on the road. You don't see them, and then when you're like really close that you're almost running them over, then you maybe have time to pass them, or sometimes you just run straight over them. But they were like this tall, like almost like, yeah, not very long. But when you ride a bike, a snake is definitely not dangerous, because if you run it over, you're gonna kill the snake, and if you miss it, then it really doesn't have enough time to strike you. Oh, I thought there was gonna be lingonberries here. There is lingonberries here. They're still not like 100% ripe, but grab another snack. Yeah, it's like in those areas I would not feel that comfortable just going in the forest like this. Here it's like there's really no danger here. I mean, probably ticks would be the most scary thing here. But yeah, there's lingonberries, there's some more there. But yeah, this tree right here, this is pine. And then we have, this is spruce. And then we have birch. Those are the trees we really have here. And then some, like this bush is like rowan tree. You never met some wild pigs or wolves. I've never seen wolves, I've never seen wild pigs, but there are wild pigs here for sure. Yeah, wild boars. We have them here for sure, but they will notice you before you notice them, so then they will just run away. They don't really attack people. I mean, the only way they could get dangerous if you somehow get them cornered somewhere, so the animal feels like, I can't go anywhere now, I have to defend myself. But as long as they have somewhere to go, then they will rather escape than attack somebody. Attack is always their like last resort. And there's some decent, yeah, these are, we can go pick lingonberries, but these are not ready yet. You can see there's some white on them. They should be completely red. So we can still wait a little bit, I think. Then we can go somewhere in the forest and actually take a bucket and try to pick some lingonberries. Well, yeah, that's the other probably dangerous spot. Like one is the probably dangerous. Yeah, if you find an animal and it has cubs, yeah, that could be dangerous, because then it might feel like it's threatened, or the cubs are threatened. So then it wants to defend the cubs. Yeah, we have there's a thing you can redeem. It's on Twitch, but you can redeem it, and then there's like, it plays like a bear sound. Maybe it was a real bear this time. Gotta look behind. Nah, I didn't see any bears. But yeah, this is it's a pretty nice forest. Right here we did plant, like these trees here, at least most of them, they're actually planted here. And then of course some have come in the natural way. But yeah, this will be it's becoming a pretty nice forest. In a few years we need to come here and thin it out a little bit. You guys in Finland also have these bomb siren tests? Yeah, we do. It's in, especially in cities you can hear them. It's usually like midday or something. But they definitely do those tests occasionally. For sure. And then from here we planted some pine up here. Then from here that way we planted, I think, spruce mostly. Christmas trees that are not going to be used for Christmas trees, but some of them that have grown slowly maybe looks like good Christmas trees too. What tests? It's like just like they're testing the if there's like an emergency of some sort. Then they can put on like these really loud things so that everyone knows that okay, now it's like some sort of danger. But yeah, and the goal here is to get like a mixed forest. Like you can see there's pine, spruce, some birch in there. Like the end goal here is to have like kind of a mixed forest where there is a little bit of every species. Some people kind of complain that it's not good to plant only one tree, but the thing here in Finland is there's basically 3 commercially viable trees you can plant. Spruce, pine, birch. And then the rest is more or less, if you can plant a few others, but they're more or less like for fun at that point. How many trees do you think you have planted? So on our farm we have, at the moment we have mostly like younger forest. You can see in the background there's some older trees there, but in the last 20 years we have probably planted, if I say 30,000 trees, it's not too far off, I think. So yeah, but it's I mean when you plant the trees you can easily plant like 500, 600 in a day, so even 30,000, it's not, it sounds much, but it's actually not that much. Once you have the proper tools and the soil is like prepared, you will actually see next spring we have a little area that needs to be planted. It's only half a hectare, but then you can see how we plant it. Where do we get the trees from? We get them from like nurseries. There's like maybe in Finland, I don't know how many there are, maybe 10, 20 places where they grow from seeds, the trees up to like, they grow them for like 1 year. So then the tree is maybe 20 centimeters tall, and then you can buy them in boxes. And I think last time we planted it was 20 cents per tree, or 20 cents per sapling. But yeah, you can buy those trees for the forest. And yeah. And that's, when I say planting trees, that's one way of getting a new forest. But as you can see here, we also left some big trees, some pines, some big trees. So those will drop their cones, and then you get some trees from that too. So here we use like a combination. We planted, but then we also got seeding trees. At least few of them. And then you can actually also just buy seeds and put them in the ground, but it's more risky. when you actually plant the tree that's grown already 1 year, it's way less risky. But yeah, when you're planting trees in the forest, then it's also nice if it's like max 15 degrees. Pretty much the cooler the better. But yeah, if you're a professional like logger, then they usually plant in the spring, and one guy can easily plant maybe 10,000 trees just in one spring. That's usually when we plant, or when the trees get planted, like in the spring. So if you're a forest worker, I guess it's called these days, not lumberjack. So then if you're a professional tree planter, then you can easily plant, yeah, tens of thousands of trees per year. But yeah, now it's nice in the fall. There's not really any bugs here now. It helps that it's a little bit of a windy day too, but if I would have come here in like June, July, August, then there might be more bugs. Bugs or mosquitoes and things. Now it's not too bad anymore. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why you will see when we do some firewood, we will always do that in the fall or winter or early spring, before it gets hot, before there's any bugs. So that's why we need some firewood for like next winter, and we're gonna cut it this winter, but I'm only gonna start it when it gets much colder than right now. Then we're gonna run the chainsaw. Not yet, way too hot for that right now. But yeah, here's one seeding tree that has fallen down, but this is fine. We'll just leave it here. No need to try to drive the tractor somewhere here and just take this one tree out. We can just leave it here. It's good for the diversity to also leave some dead trees. You don't need to vacuum clean your forest. What's the temperature? It should be like 20 degrees. You can look on the stream on the bottom right corner. There's like a thing that says the temperature. I think it's 20 degrees today. It's one of the cooler days. 12 degrees in Germany. Crazy. Here it's been, yeah, between 20 and 30 for like 4 months straight. Oh, more lingonberries. Free snacks. Let's try to go down there. Let's take a look at the bigger trees. Oh, there's a lot of lingonberries here. More than expected. So yeah, even again, some people think that when you cut down most of the big trees, there's like no benefits. It's only bad. But as you can see, this area before we cut down the big trees, it was a pretty dense spruce forest, and the bottom layer was pretty much moss. No blueberries, no lingonberries, nothing. Now when it's a little bit more opened up, now you can see there's a ton of lingonberries. And in the lower areas, there might even be like a bunch of blueberries. So it's not only bad when you do cut down the big trees, but according to some people, it's only bad. Only bad. I mean, this already starts to look like a forest. You know, if you would come back here in 5 years, these trees are pretty much double the length, and then it really feels like a forest. But already now it's starting to feel like a forest again. But yeah, I'm pretty happy how the trees have grown so far. In a few years we need to come and cut down a few of these where it's like really too dense, too many trees too close to each other, then we can help the good ones a little bit. You surely grow your own potatoes, tomatoes. This year we actually had some potatoes. I haven't grown potatoes in a long time, but this year we actually had some potatoes. Yeah, and suspicious beans. Oh, there's some crap there. That doesn't look like that's. It could be deer crap or something. There's maybe been some deer around here or something. Or something, some smaller animal. But yeah, I grew some beans, and for the people that haven't seen the beans, the color of the beans was really weird. I've never grown beans that were pink in color. Or between purple and pink. Very weird color for beans. I mean, they tasted like normal beans, like there wasn't too much of an issue there, but the color was, let's say, very interesting. Oh, there's so many lingonberries. These are pretty ripe even. I need to go and pick some soon. I have some other areas that should be like this everywhere where there's a lot, but there's quite a bit here actually. If I would have my picker, you could get quite a bit here. No blueberries this year, but surprisingly big amounts of lingonberries. I guess they have survived dry conditions better. There's a lot here. I'm gonna be here munching along for a bit. Look like kidney beans. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I would have stored the bag of seeds I got. Then that would have said what kind of beans it was. I guess we're coming down to a wetter area. So maybe this area, it's a little bit more wet. And this year, when it was a dry year, then it was the right moisture for the lingonberries, it seems. There's a ton of lingonberries here. Here we see this is blueberry plant, but there's, of course, it's way too late for blueberries now, but more berries. At some point we're gonna get a more wet summer, and then we're gonna have a bunch of blueberries again. But yeah, now we go into this is some older forest here. Older spruce forest. Yeah, and right now every stream gets stored on YouTube right now, but I didn't start that. I didn't have that on in the spring, so otherwise I could go back in YouTube and see every stream and see what it was. But yeah, it's I didn't turn that option on until later. But yeah, this is the terrain shifts here a lot. This is like very good soil here, and spruces grow really well here. A little bit older forest, just a little patch here, but some older trees. this area could use some thinning at some point. Cut some trees away from here. And here it seems to be a lot of this plant in the bottom layer here. Whatever this is called. It looks like some sort of ancient dinosaur plant. It's like the bottom of its field of this one plant here. But yeah, here's also the same story as all other places. You see there's a ditch in the middle here, it's dry to the bottom. This ditch is almost never dry to the bottom. And you can see no water. Both sides of the terrain comes like down here. That's why this narrow area here, it's really like a wet area. Normally a wet area, I should say. Now it's dry to the bottom. We can go out there and take a look at the younger trees again. And these, like all these spruces you see here, these older trees, this was not planted at all. These all came here naturally. And then it's just thinned, I guess, once after that. So you can also get a decent forest by just using nature's own processes. But yeah, it really depends on what kind of soil you have. What kind of soil and what kind of big trees are, and if it's possible to get a new forest like by not planting. Here you can see as soon as you have a little opening, like there's a ton of these small spruces coming up. This is the nature's own way of getting new trees, but this only works. This works right here pretty well, but on worse soil or I guess it can work in some other areas too, but at least here it's working pretty good. We should actually go to the other direction, actually. It would be better. Check what it's looking there. A little bit older forest. Here it's pretty easy to walk. When trees are bigger, there's not that much brush here. I can show you some areas where where it's not easy to walk. And then if you're not going to use a brush cutter at any point, then it's going to stay pretty like super dense. This area here, in a few years I'm going to come there with the brush cutter and thin it out a little bit, but it's fine so far, no need yet, but it changes a lot in a few years. The grass is kind of flat. That looks like a moose might have been sleeping there. That's one way you can tell that there's a lot of animals here, like just by seeing the crap everywhere. And then you can also sometimes see like where they have spent the night sleeping. It's like an area that's completely flat. All the vegetation is completely flat. Then you know there's been somebody around. There's like a feather there from some unknown bird. Oh, there's a little bit. There's mud. We can see, yeah, there's actually been some recent activity here. You can see how the sides has been dug here. I bet you this is a wild boar that has done this. You can see it's been digging in the side of the ditch here, and it's all muddy in the bottom there. You can see there's like, looks like somebody has been there. So actually, yeah, the bottom is full of tracks. Wild boars. This is for sure wild boars that have done this. So 100% we found some tracks from wild boars. Now you can't really see, it's like too muddy, and I don't want to step there. It's still soft mud. But I bet you this is not a moose, this is a wild boar. Sometimes wild or moose can cross ditches, but when it's been walking like this back and forth in the mud here, I'm sure that's wild boars. So, as I've said, I have not seen a wild boar like eye to eye, but I can clearly see the tracks here and the digging job they do. Download the Seek app. Yeah, there's some. I had some. Let's see if I had some app on this. I had like with Google Lens. I think you're supposed to detect plants too. And then I had some. I had some app. I don't know if I have it anymore on the computer, on the PC, or the phone here. I had some app. I don't know if it detects plants. But there's definitely. And I prefer again to use free apps. But yeah, detecting plants with an app, it's a good use of a camera and a phone. But yeah, and this is not that bad. It hasn't destroyed the ditch, but you should have seen in the other area we have forest. There's like similar area to this, a pretty wet area, so there's some ditches that drain the area. The ditches were dug like a few years before, and then I went back there. I thought like, who the hell has been here with an excavator and basically shoved mud in the ditches? But there was similar tracks. It was just the wild boars. But you can't imagine how much they changed. Like they literally took maybe 1 meter to the side from the ditch here, and then all this mud or dirt, they went down maybe 25 centimeters, and all that stuff was in the bottom of the ditch. And for like maybe 30 meters they did that. Like basically filled in the ditch. Like they moved crazy amounts of dirt there. I never thought wild boars would move that much dirt. But that's of course not great, because then if your ditch is filled in, then it won't be able to drain the excess water. And then you have to come and dig the ditch again. And then if they fill it in again, then you're kind of not getting anywhere. They laid down in the ditch. I don't know if they did that, but at least they were trying to dig the sides. I think maybe there's like, I don't know, for some reason they like sides of the ditches. It's the same out in the fields. If they start digging anywhere, it's usually on the very like on the edge of the ditch, like right where the ditch meets the flat there. That side of the ditch, that's really where they like to dig. I think maybe there's like a lot of worms or a lot of bugs, or there must be something that they eat there, because they really like to dig into those places. It's the same in the forest and in the fields. And if you would have a lot of those wild boars, it could seriously cause damage, like a lot of damage. Now this is mostly like as long as they stay at the bottom there, it's mostly just visual. This is not gonna mess up the ditch too much. But yeah, it could, if we would have a lot of them, it could get worse. And I mean, this looks pretty fresh. The other place there, it looked like they have been there like in the last couple of days, because the water was still muddy. So they have been here pretty recently. Might need to, I really want to get one of them on camera, so I need to put my wildlife camera somewhere, try to get them on film. But yeah, the only thing that the wild boars actually have destroyed is, I had potatoes like 5 years ago, And then one morning I did not have any potatoes anymore in the garden. So they came in, ate all the potatoes in one night. So that's probably the most damage that the wild boars have caused. Like they actually ate all the potatoes one year. That's why I didn't have potatoes for a long year or for many years. And now this year we tried again. And we did succeed, but as you can see, there are still some wild boars around, so I guess we got lucky this year. Next year, if we try potatoes, we might not get as lucky. There's still some around. Maybe there was more a few years ago, but they definitely have. Yeah, they've walked at the bottom of the ditch. You can see the grass is pushed down here. They have been walking back and forth at the bottom there. Yeah, I don't think, I'm not an expert on moose, but I don't think moose do this. This has gotta be wild boars. But yeah, I don't know if it's a nice find, but I haven't seen wild boar like tracks that much this year, but just need to explore more areas. I saw some when we walked on the field a couple of days ago. I saw some tracks there, or some signs of wild boar activity. But that's clearly wild boars right there. Yeah, some sort of wildlife camera would be good. I have one, but it uses like batteries, and it needs like a memory card, and then yeah, it's always hard to try to place it somewhere where the animals are actually going to be. If I put it somewhere, then I have had it, the cameras in the forest in a few places, but it's always hard to get any animals on camera. But yeah, this damage here I can show you. This is moose or deer. As you can see here, these trees, like the top of the tree has been broken off, and pretty much all the branches have been chewed off in the very end. This is moose or deer 100% of the time. You can see here pretty much all these aspen trees, they've all been broken. This is not the wind, this is not snow, this is the moose. So yeah, that's why if you're, of course here like spruces grow here, and we have some aspen undergrowth, so it's not that bad that it's actually almost good that they destroy the aspen. But let's say you try to grow some aspen trees, impossible. Like every single tree is like destroyed. They won't necessarily die from this, but the trunk is gonna be all, like this is gonna form a new top, maybe from this branch or this branch. Then you have like a nice 90-degree bend in the tree. And as you can see here, literally all the trees have been broken right here. Not a single one has not been destroyed. That's the moose that has done that. It can do this same thing to birches too, but I haven't seen too much bird damage like on the birches. Mostly it's on aspen, which is, yeah, we haven't planted these aspen trees here. They have just come in naturally, so it's like whatever, it's not a loss. But yeah, imagine you can plant pine too, and then it looks like this. Every single tree has been broken off. Then that's not nice. Then there's actually a big financial loss. That's why we have planted a lot of spruce, because the moose and deer, they don't really attack the spruce that much. Like they go on pine, then maybe on the birch, and then maybe on the spruce. But they always try to find the better trees from them. Real moose evidence. Yep, for sure. It's amazing. In some places you can see like they're pretty thorough, so they eat literally every branch. I think they're after this like the end of the branch. You can see there's like a little bulge here. I think they like this. That's why they bite. They bite that off everything. Like they eat the very tip of every branch. That's like the good part. And then they leave the rest. But that's the good part is also where the tree is going to grow next year. So when they destroy that, then the tree is going to get all funky and not good. So yeah, in some areas it can be really bad. Like when all your trees look like that when you have planted new trees, then you're not a happy guy then. But yeah, here we can see in front. Here you can see how a forest looks when it's really fertile soil. And then you get the natural birch in. I have not planted a single birch here. We planted spruce in this area. That's probably the best tree to grow here. You can see there's a spruce. But then you can see the millions of birches that have come in here. Like all this is natural, all these trees. And I already was here once and cut down some to give room to the spruces. But yeah, here, here we need to come here and do some work. Yeah, this probably next year. It's good that there's some birches, but here it's like pushing birches like there's no tomorrow. A lot of birches, you barely see the spruces anymore. But yeah, just a few years ago I did cut down some here, but man, do they come back fast. On this soil is almost like field quality soil here, like really good soil here. That's why it's pushing birch like crazy. So yeah, this very bottom here, this needs some work. Could almost do it now even, but I think it's most effective if you do it like almost in the middle of the summer. Of course it's too hot then, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll come here even this fall, because the spruces kind of need some help. It is some work. It is in areas like this, like when you go in there in the proper jungle, you could easily, when you do the brush cutting, which means like giving room to some trees, you could easily, in that kind of area or this kind of area, you could easily be cutting down 100,000 trees in one day, just to leave room for the rest. So yeah, if you do an area like this, it's not going to be super fast, because there's a lot to cut down. But I guess with the brush cutter, it's still, as long as it's not like hot weather, it's okay. Of course it's physical work, but it's not too bad. I have shown it on stream a few times when I've done areas like this. I'm probably gonna show when I do this area too. I'm not sure if I want to do it now or next summer, but yeah, that's the literally worst areas, those when it's really fertile ground, but the start can be tricky sometimes when you get too many trees. Like this is a prime example of the hardest area, so to speak. As you saw up there on the hill where the soil is more sandy, it's not that bad. There's not that many trees coming up, but as you can see here, jungle. This is what a Finnish jungle looks like. You can barely walk through it. And many trees need to be cut down, so you have some trees that get nice room and grow well. Yeah, we can't even walk through that. Proper jungle. But yeah, with if you do the right things here, then it's going to be a good forest in the future. But if you just leave it like that, leave that to grow, then you would end up with like some really tall trees, like really dense forest with a lot of trees that are barely hanging on to life. Like at the very top they have maybe a few leaves or a few needles, and then the rest of the tree is like super thin and super long. And then you get a lot of like snow damage or wind damage or something like that. So yeah. Areas like this, it's really important that you do something right about now. It's not good to wait 5 years here. But yeah, I will show you what we do to areas like this. Definitely needs some work right here. If the other side there where we started, that didn't need any work yet, this needs some work. I might come here this fall. It's not a super big patch here. It's this very, very bottom of this area. It's super good soil, and I suspected that we might get a lot of birch here. You kind of know beforehand that some areas you get like a bunch of trees coming up. Mostly depends on the soil type. Up here it's not nearly as bad. Finnish machete, yeah. That's the brush cutter. That's the Finnish machete. It's a very good tool for areas like that. Brush cutter. Brush cutter or clearing saw, or yeah, whatever you want to call it. That's a big aspen tree right there. So yeah, in some when you do a clear cut, it's good to leave some big trees. It's in the law, so you have to leave some big trees. This is a very nice example of like a big aspen. This is very good for many species like this tree. So it's a good tree to leave behind, so to speak. Okay, how are we gonna find our way out? We can go a little bit that way and then back up to the road, I think, and try to not get lost. It's not that easy anymore now at this stage when you can't see over the trees. When you planted the trees here, it was really easy because you could see the whole area. Now when the forest is growing up again, it's pretty dense. Pretty dense. But yeah, this is I can still walk between the trees. It's not nearly as bad as down there that we just witnessed. An area like this is pretty easy. You can see the trees we planted and basically remove most of the trees in between and then let the spruces grow. Leave. If there's like an opening, then you can leave one birch there, and yeah. But yeah, all that kind of stuff you will see on stream later. Not today, but at some point. Because that area down there definitely needs some work. This should be fine for a few more years before we need to do anything here. And then we got another area we're gonna cut down some trees because we need some firewood also. Can we really get lost because no GPS? I think like if I just take Google Maps, then that probably works. But the app I used for earlier when we mowed, that app had some GPS issues. I can try, but I think the Google Maps works here. I can quickly just try see if it goes to the location that we are. Google Maps. But yeah, this area I can find my way out of here. Like even with all the trees, I kind of know where I am right now. No, this works. So the GPS is working. It was just the app that had some issue. We can see the area right there. So that's always worst case scenario. As long as you have battery power in your phone, you can always, like, even if I walk straight into the forest over there, like, you won't really get lost as long as you got power in the phone. It's pretty easy to just check the phone and then you see immediately where you are. But yeah, like this is the farm's forest here, so we don't have that much forest. We have like 20 hectares. I pretty much know all the areas. If you would drop me just blindfolded anywhere in the forest, within maybe 5 minutes I would probably know exactly where I am. It helps when I pretty much been everywhere in the forest, so. But yeah, let's see. Somewhere here should be, there's like a, did we already cross the road? I think this is my neighbor's forest already. It's pretty close here. Like our neighbor logged this at the same time almost as we did. So there's a border line here, like a border, but it's pretty, when the both sides look almost the same, it can be confusing at times. There should be like a road. I should really, with the brush cutter, I'm going to clean up the road so we can clearly see who has what here. So that it's not confusing anymore. Otherwise, this is another area. If we just leave this, then after 10 years, it's like impossible to see that whose forest is whose and where's the border. Yeah, here's the border. I can see the tractor tracks here. So right here is a border between two properties. Would be hard to know if you don't know beforehand, because I think neighbor they planted spruce, but they planted maybe 1 year later than we did. So these bigger trees are a pretty good indicator where the border is, but it's not easy to find. And definitely if I want to drive the tractor here, first I need to cut down all this so it's possible to drive here. Right now it's not possible to drive here with the tractor. Too many trees. Too many small trees. Yeah, more lingonberries. So good. Can try to go see how close we can go back to where we left the bike. Let's see how close to the bike we can go when we come out of the forest. First we're gonna eat lingonberries. So good. I think is there somebody mowing the sides of the road? It sounds like that, with like a flail mower. I hear some kind of ruckus in the background. Some kind of noises. Yummy, yummy. I can go, pretty much need to go that way, I think. Here's more lingonberries. A lot. I was not thinking that this would be the area where I find a lot of lingonberries. But I mean, I don't mind. Do not mind it. There's a bunch more. No, nothing wrong with free food. Just the only cost is to come out and pick. There's you can see an old stump of the previous generation. It's still pretty hard. It usually takes maybe, what does it take? 20 years for a stump to rot away completely. But yeah, here's like a clear example when the spruce has been planted, and then you see all these birches that have started to grow really close to the spruce there. What I'm gonna do here in a couple of years is basically cut down all these spruces or all these birches, give more room to the spruce, because now it's the spruce is kind of threatened by the birches, or they're so close to each other that they will, like both trees will just damage each other. So when they're that close, then you wanna give them some space. Can't grow if you don't have like space to grow into. But yeah, this is pretty easy going to brush cut here. There's some trees that need to be cut down, but there's some openings that you don't need to do anything. And this is in the right conditions, like right weather, like as long as it's not too hot. This is pretty pleasant work here. At least for me. It's probably gonna be, a lot of people would not like it, but yeah, as long as when you're down in those jungle places, that's when it can be like a real struggle. When there's too much to cut down. But this is pretty easy. Like, it's easy to see the trees. It's pretty easy to figure out like what do you want to cut down, what do you gonna leave. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice forest. It's always when you plant, you think like, we're planting too little here, and this will be a super far away between trees. But now when you see, there's always, you plant some trees and then nature will always fill in with something. Like right here, no birches were planted, so all the birches you see, all the trees with leaves, they all came naturally here. Like just thousands and thousands of them. That's why there is a saying, if you have one birch in the village, it will seed all the areas that you leave unseeded. Like right here, where's the closest birch maybe? Like it's kinda far away. I don't see the nearest big birch, but still there's like just all these small birches. So somehow, from somewhere, the seeds came. But yeah, they're mowing the sides. That's why the loud sounds are. But yeah, we're gonna let that guy go first. Hopefully he doesn't mow my bike when I left the bike there besides the road. Should be able to see the bike. But yeah, they're just with like a flail mower mowing the sides of the road, just cutting down all the grass and small trees. But it's kind of loud when it hits like rocks and things. But yeah, better not go super close either, because things can really fly out of those mowers. So we better not go like right next to it. Otherwise you could get rock in the face. Hello, spirit of mountains. Welcome to the not trying to get lost in the forest stream. See if we can find some more lingonberries here somewhere. There seem to be many right here, but I think over there was more. That guy, he was just doing the normal bot things. It's always the advertising for viewers or bots or something like that. That's what pretty much all the bands are about. Here's another tree that probably blew down with the wind or something, but we're just gonna leave it here. It's good thick wood for some life forms that need that to thrive. We found more lingonberries. We have to cut down whole forest because trees were sick. Yeah, that's part of the reason here. Like, it's not obviously we don't have to cut down the forest. Or actually, yeah, there is a law here. So if you have like let's say you'd have a lot of blowdowns in one forest, like more than 10 cubic meters per hectare, then you actually need to get them out, because otherwise you will cause damage to that forest around it and like the neighbor's forest and things like that. So there's actually a few spots where you actually have to do something. But all the things I'm describing in the forest here, everything is like you don't have to do anything. I could leave this forest as it is forever. Wouldn't be breaking any laws with that. But I decide to do some things because it should be better. At least financially better. Like I have, you could see it like I have invested in the spruces here, so we have planted these spruces. It would be kind of a bad way of taking care of your investment if you just plant them and then leave it. Like it's better to just keep taking care of it a little bit, giving them room, then they will grow into some healthy trees. That's why everything I'm describing, that's why we're kind of doing it. But you don't have to do anything. At least here, if you're a forest owner, you can also just leave the forest completely. That's completely legal too. You don't have to do anything. Pretty much anything. There's a few spots, like if you do a clear cut, then you need to make sure that there is a new forest within, I think it's like within 5 years or something. So there's like some rules, but not that many actual that you must do. Most of it is, if you want, you can do this. If you want, you can do that. Which is the way it's pretty good that it is that way, I think. There's a lot of lingonberries here. If I would have a bucket and a picker, we could collect a few liters here, I believe. Right up on this hill here, relatively close to the road, I think there's a decent chunk here. There's some raspberry bushes. They don't have berries anymore, but yeah, even raspberries you could find here if I would have been here a little bit earlier. Also, another plant that really likes it when you do clear cuts is the raspberry. You get a bunch of raspberry plants after you do clear cuts. They like the sun. Here's another patch of raspberries. We could have a whole jar of IKEA jam. Yeah, we could have a lot of lingonberry jam, or some years blueberry things and raspberry things. We're going to go a little bit that way. See if we can find this last section before the road there. The soil becomes even like it's like full of big boulders and stuff. This is more like pine ground. That's why right here we planted this tree, like the pine. This really sandy, rocky soil, it's better for pine than spruce. That's why we put a little bit of pine in here. But yeah, I definitely see some trees have been eaten here also by the moose, but like this one here is pretty destroyed. This tree, you can see it made like new tops and it doesn't know where to grow. That's moose damage also. But some are okay, so I think with the natural trees plus the trees we planted, like if I leave the best ones, there will be an okay forest here. But it is with the pine, it's definitely way more risky than the spruce. Way more chances of getting moose damage. Let's see now. But yeah, that one is fine. This one is kinda fine. That tree is kind of destroyed. That one is destroyed. That one is fine. So some percentage has been a little bit destroyed. See if we can go out to the road. Really rocky here. When they built the road, they pushed all the boulders here. Yeah, here you can see some really fresh tracks of some mowing of the side of the road. So the guy, he came just, I can still hear him there. He just had like a flail mower and mowed down all the trees that are like too close to the road. You can still see how the other side looks bad. This side is how it's supposed to look. So he's just going probably on this side and then coming back on the other side. But yeah, this side is done, that side is not done. It's very good that they do this. I don't know, like our farm is like a part owner of this road, but I think last time they did this, they actually didn't, like, there was no bill for me or for our farm. So I don't know, maybe it's just somebody who is doing it. I don't know, not for fun, but I don't know who pays the guy. Maybe it's it could be some of the moose hunters maybe that do it. Because yeah, if you let the sides grow in too much, then it's gonna be like impossible to drive on this road with a car. Gotta keep it maintained. But yeah, bike was fine. Guy had not mowed my bike, luckily. Should be pretty easy to see the bike. Yeah, a little monka steer. Little monka steer is needed. Oh, it's already coming back on the other side. Hopefully we can pass. Oh yeah, he recognized us. Proper side mow. Yeah, this road looks better right here. Both sides mowed. And then we'll just go off the road here again. Back in the forest. Back in the forest. speed is the key here. If we're gonna keep it straight. Yep, there we go. Gotta try one more to get it without the backboard here. Straight in, straight, just net.
Oh yeah.
First try, first try.
Get the driver.
Got
Boy.
you, asshole! B! Aim for the driver!
Okay, I think we're back. It's just that section in the forest there is very, very bad for internet connection. But yeah, for sure at some point when we get a cool day within the next few weeks, then we can go pick some lingonberries, because there was definitely enough to warrant taking a bucket with you. Definitely enough for that. Collect a few liters. I'm gonna shoot a few hoops at some point too. Concrete is now dry and nice and clean. But yeah, the thing we went to try is the bike. Or probably not best to put it, damage the paint if we put it against the concrete there. Bike worked, so the gears, the shifter is now lining up straight with the cogs there, and it is also moving the right amount sideways. So it just point bent, like the actual thing was, it was this way, it was moving right, but it was like bent like this in, and that messed everything up. But yeah, now it's fixed. It was a simple fix. One of those things that it was a little hard to pinpoint the broken thing, or not broken thing, but bent thing. But then to fix it was easy fix. So now bike is ready. I need to buy another bottle. Then we're ready for some longer bike rides again. I think at some point this fall I still want to do the 100k in a day. We'll see if we get some sort of really good weather for bike, and then we could try it. But yeah, thanks for watching again today, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for the follows. I didn't think there was any subs today, but yeah, if someone subs to YouTube, thanks for that. So yeah, Bye bye.
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to lay to drift away. I fill my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again. flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love.